world's largest island and smallest continent. We're the 6th largest country in the world at 7.692 million square kilometres. Continental USA is the 5th at 8.08 million square kilometres, making us 95% the size of the USA, or 15 times larger than Spain, where my wife comes from. Aboriginal occupation dates back over 50,000 years. You'll hear all sorts of ridiculous claims of 60, 65, 120, and I heard one guy recently say 2 million. I was like, go back to school, buddy. But yeah, at least 50,000 years, which is definitely one of, if not the oldest culture, human culture on the planet. Now, June 1770, what happened? Captain Cookie. He arrived on the east coast of Australia and called it all New South Wales. Right, he actually landed at Botany Bay, which is where you'll be soon. Botany Bay is now the site of Sydney's International Airport, the Kingsford Charles Smith Airport. Charles Kingsford Smith. So yeah, 18 years later, on the 26th of January 1788 was when Captain Cook came back with the first fleet of 11 ships and sailed into Port Jackson, locally known as Sydney Harbour, but it's actually called Port Jackson. That day is now celebrated as Australia Day. The Aboriginal people, some Aboriginal people, not all of them, refer to it as Invasion Day, which really, from their point of view, it was. 1st of January 1901, the Australian colonies federated into the newly formed country, officially known as the Commonwealth of Australia. Interesting, it was illegal to swim at public beaches prior to 1902. We changed the rules, but before that, you were not allowed to swim before dusk or after dawn. So, you know, when it's nighttime and perfectly dangerous, you're allowed to swim. But during the day, not allowed to swim. Anyway, the very first surf lifesaving club in the world was founded at Bondi Beach in 1906 by 2 local fishermen who had basically had to save people who, you know, started to swim during the day and they could see them drowning, so they decided to save them, and then they approached the council and said, like, we should get some money and build a club and do this to help people. And that's how first surf lifesaving was born. But yeah, Kuba Pedy, up near where I come from, Kuba Pedy. I remember as a kid thinking, what the hell is Kuba Pedy? They're not names, they're not things. It's the anglicised pitch and jutta of Kuba Pedy. Kuba, white man, Pedy, hole in the ground. Kuba Pedy. So the Aboriginal people, the pitch and jutta people, had been going through there and saw the white man digging holes in the desert. We're like, what are these crazy bastards doing? They're like, Kuba Pedy, white man, hole in the ground. And they heard it, and they anglicised it to white man's hole in the ground. Now, some famous Australians, musicians, and this is not a very comprehensive list because I know I'm supposed to add to it, but I never do. So AC/DC, they're Australian, of course, the epitome of rock and roll. Bee Gees, they're Aussies. In Excess, Midnight Oil, Silverchair, Natalie Imbruglia, Kylie Minogue, Sia, Keith Urban, Slim Dusty, John Williamson, James Blundell, Casey Chambers, The Hilltop Hoods, Nick Cave, Gotya, Men at Work, Flea, the guitarist out of Red Hot Chili Peppers, is Australian. His parents moved over when he was about 10. Jimmy Barnes, Missy Higgins, Olivia Newton-John, all Aussies. Personalities, Elle, the Body McPherson, she was a supermodel. Steve Irwin, I'm gonna stick my thumb up his butthole. Yeah, he was a crocodile hunter. Fred Hollows, a great Australian who was an eye surgeon, but he went to Africa and basically restored people's sight for free to who knows how many thousands or tens of thousands of people. He's an absolute legend. Rupert Murdoch, you can keep him. He's all yours, alright? Was Australian, ain't anymore. Alright? Ned Kelly, bushranger and folk hero. Eddie Mabo, great man. He was the man who basically got Aboriginal land rights. He's actually from the Torres Strait Islands, not from the mainland of Australia. Anyway, poet Banjo Patterson, who wrote the national anthem Waltzing Matilda. Alright, that is actually our national anthem, not the one that claims to be. Actors, Mel Gibson, Russell Crowe, Cate Blanchett, Hugh Jackman, Nicole Kidman, Heath Ledger, Margot Robbie, Liam and Chris Hemsworth, Ruby Rose, Paul Hogan, the Crocodile Dundee, Sam Worthington, and that guy from Vikings. I don't know what his name is, but the main guy from Vikings was Australian as well. Ragnar Lothbrok. And just to finish off, sports people. Ian Thorpedo, who we thought was the greatest swimmer until you produced that other guy who's even better. Kathy Freeman, Rod Laver, Greg Norman, Mick Fanning, Tim Cale, Casey Stoner, Betty Cuthbert, and Don Bradman. Possibly the greatest sports person of all time. The Don. I will talk about him later. Lecture's over, kids. Here we are at the Pacific Hotel. Welcome to Cairns. As in like beer, you know? Yeah.
Good day, welcome to Cairns. Come on in. Did you like that?
Oh my gosh.
This is our hotel room for the next couple days. As you can see, it's a hotel. We have a bed, 2 pillows, some artwork. Let's come over here first. Let me show you this. We got safe, so that we're safe. All right. We got some things that aren't complimentary, I'm sure, that we'll have to pay for if we use. And same goes for this fridge that I think works. We have a closet with some of our stuff in it. Hair dryer, iron, extra blinky, drawers and stuff. And then we have the bathroom. Mini mirrors. Faucet that works. We got a little cracky in the sink here. It's fine. We're good. And then we have the shower that is missing some of the window. I'm just kidding. It's supposed to be like that, but that's kind of fun. So we got the shower, the toilet. It's good. And then probably the best part of the room is over here. We've got 2 chairs to lounge in. Probably comfy, we haven't sat on them yet. And then we've got the balcony. Check this out. It's a little windy and very warm and moist today. But if you look to your right, you see some mountains off in the distance. Some pretty buildings in the city of Cairns. And then off to the left, you've got the ocean view. And that's where we're gonna be, especially tomorrow. So that's our hotel room. Hannah, what do you think?
It's great.
Oh. Woo. Oh, I'm definitely done. Once we find what they call it. That's great. Can we get sunscreen? Roast. I think we're going that way.
Ceremony, hunting, fishing, gathering, the salt water highway takes us home. The salt water connects us together.
They're like moving. I don't know what was happening. What the heck?
Okay. Did you want to go to the Ferris wheel?
Ferris wheel?
Yeah.
Maybe.
colour and they appear silver in the shade. So quite often they are found hiding under boats and pontoons. So they're not very obvious to their predators, and they are also quite a long-lived fish. These red bass can actually live up to an age of 70. So over their lifetime they tend to accumulate a lot of toxins. Because of this they are protected, so they can actually give you ciguatera poisoning. So yeah, just be mindful if you see a red bass on your plate, maybe give it a pass because you might get some ciguatera poisoning from this species. Now those giant trevally there are the large fish with the dark grey bodies. These guys are apex predators. So out in the open ocean when they are hunting prey, they've been seen to reach speeds of up to 60 kilometers an hour. So those giant trevally are very fast hunters. They can also grow to a size of 80 kilograms. And they actually have a special adaptation with their eyes. So this fish is able to view prey above the surface. If you are a low-flying seabird, this is quite dangerous for you. If a seabird gets a little bit too close to the water, those giant trevallies have been seen to jump out and capture them as prey.
You made it.
So a few little things about the Great Barrier Reef as a whole. So this ecosystem is actually the largest coral ecosystem on our planet. So it's the largest living marine ecosystem here on planet Earth. Now we can actually see this ecosystem from space. So it is so large that astronauts up in the space station, they've actually been able to photograph this beautiful structure. So that just shows how large it is. It actually runs a length of 2,300 kilometers, all the way up from Cape York, all the way down to Bundaberg. Now the corals that you are seeing, they are animals. They're animals with large colonies of polyps. Now these polyps inside their tissues, they have little factories in them. So they use an algae, and that algae is called zooxanthellae, and that algae actually works really hard in the coral's structures. That in return it gets some nice carbon dioxide and a home in the coral's tissues, but it also produces around 90% of that coral's food source. So it's a really big player in the coral's overall survival. Cannot perceive a lot of colours on the colour spectrum the deeper down in the ocean that we go. So the first colour to disappear at around 15 metres is the colour red. Now if you're a diver and you've cut yourself in the water, if you look down on your finger where you'd cut yourself, you'd actually notice that blood, it wasn't red, it would be a dark green colour. So that is how we perceive light through the water column.
Yeah, tell me.
So I just stopped, and then kind of just like this.
Wow. Just flopping around.